All right, guys, welcome. Tonight's call we have Kristen White, and this is one thing that I absolutely this separates Partner Co from so many other companies is the fact that we can do these calls like this because Kristen and I are not tied together at all financially. So we are truly cross-line, but we help each other. Kristen probably helps me more than I help her, but
No,
Chris.
you've been helping me a lot.
Kristen is absolutely amazing. She is known as the product guru throughout the company. Kristen was actually with RX for years, so she's been working with the drop. She's been working with the other products. However, she wasn't really in the business side. Her dad is one of the top guys in the industry itself. That's Chris Dole. So you might have heard of him, might have talked to anyways. But Chris is an awesome guy. But Kristen grew up in the industry, but she never really got in the business. She just sold out of her gym. So Kristen is a CrossFit gym owner. She trains a lot of professional athletes. She's one of the top trainers I know in Tennessee, probably in the country. I'll let her speak to that, to her credentials and that.
Awesome.
But Kristen knows the products to not be in the science world or whatever. She knows the products better than probably most of the corporate staff. She knows every ingredient. She knows the sourcing of those ingredients. She studies those, and she only uses the best of the best products. And that's why she believes so much in our products. And now she's building a business and she's kicking butt. So she kicks our butt. So without any more hesitation or whatnot, Kristen, go ahead. And Dr. D, if you want to just speak a little bit to Kristen on this, I'll let Kristen introduce herself and then y'all can talk about enzymes for a minute and then we can roll into the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does she want to open with anything first?
Hey, Kristen. So I'm thinking, Reese, is this me sharing with her what my needs are with my
Yeah,
clients?
yeah, you can
Oh,
ask her anything. We were just starting to talk about the enzyme
yes.
that you and I were
Yeah.
talking about and things like that.
Okay. So Kristen, first of all, nice to meet you.
You too.
And it's Kirsten,
Kristen.
Kristen. Okay.
Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen. Okay. When I sit down with clients for the first time, um, everybody's going to get on a probiotic rotation. They're going to get on an enzyme regardless of their age. Everyone is testing for enzymes, even children. And so post COVID, we are not only needing enzymes at every meal, a weaker enzyme that doesn't have bile, is low in HCl, but it has somewhat of a broad spectrum. We need an adult entry level enzyme for teenagers, young adults, 20s, 30s. And then I need an enzyme that has more HCl and bile for the heavier protein digestion and fat digestion for people as they age or have issues with gallbladder, a lack of HCl because of poor diet choices in the past, and so on. Post COVID, we also need a systemic enzyme that bypasses digestion, gets into the bloodstream, and attaches to biofilm. So something that has a nattokinase or a serrapeptase or a high potency protease. So something that gets past normal foods into systemic, basically a blood thinner. And so today, I think I had 5 appointments. 3 of them I had to put on a blood thinner, a Datazymes formula that we have because of so much fibrin in the blood post COVID. So just every person that I see, I'm of course obviously having to use other companies for the enzymes because I don't have one with Partner Co just yet. The chewables, we use them for children. So many children are coming in with with H. pylori or other amoeba issues in the stomach because water is so contaminated. And most people lower the temperature of their hot water tank when they have children, when in fact they should make it higher at 145 or 150 so that at that temperature in the tank, you're actually killing off all of the amoebas and the parasites, but people thinking it's safer, they put it down. So then the tanks become breeding grounds for amoebas and parasites. So children are coming in needing enzymes. So we do like to have a chewable for children as well. So if we could do it, if we could start off with a systemic enzyme and an adult entry level enzyme, that'd be a great place to start. But really, we need 4 to cover all the bases. And then stepping out of the enzyme conversation, it would be great to have a second probiotic, because every 4 to 6 months we have to rotate probiotics. Otherwise, whatever you're using is no longer creating die-off. And we can rotate back to the original probiotic. I just need a second probiotic in rotation.
Got it. And you use other products?
I do. I've been using Nature's Sunshine's probiotics and enzymes for 35 years. And then Young Living has really, when they're in stock. Young Living's products unfortunately go out of stock very often. They have they have all the enzymes that I need. Plus they have a additional one called Allerzymes, which is for vegans and vegetarians. And then Nature's Sunshine's vegan vegetarian one is not protease, Proactozyme. So that's a fifth one that's very, helpful as well. I can sell the heck out of enzymes. Everybody puts them on their monthly rotation, and most people will put 2 different types of enzymes on their monthly orders because they want a systemic and they want a regular. If someone has not gotten the COVID vaccine, so that's not the reason they have fibrin in the blood. If it's simply because they've had leaky gut, and so undigested protein has leaked into the bloodstream and been ionically drawn to the putrefied fats, that creates a fibrin itself. So a lot of men, I take everybody off that aspirin that they're on when they come in and put them on a systemic, like the nattokinase or the serrapeptase, or the high potency protease. So they're all effective. They're all effective as systemic enzymes. So not necessarily one over the other. Now, nattokinase seems to be more successful in dissolving the blood clots that the spike proteins are creating. And so, but serrapeptase is right up there, with that. I find that the high potency protease is more effective with the traditional leaky gut, putrefied protein and putrefied fats. So, but enzymes would give us a complete package, and then a second probiotic, and I'm still learning Partner Co's products.
Sure.
So the feedback we're getting is when the separate multivitamin and the separate multi-mineral that make a package, that's $100. Even our wealthy people push it back a little bit and going, hey, Dee, that's a little much for monthly on top of everything else I'm getting. So I am going to push that as a prenatal, because prenatal, they'll buy it and they'll understand the value in it because they're looking at all the ingredients. I like to have a backup multi that's a different price point. So I'm using the green powder, whatever that product is, I'm using that green powder as a backup multi, as a just a different alternative, different price point. But it would be so great to have a powdered multivitamin that tastes good, that they could just walk out the door with, throw it in, the pixie stick, open it, tear it, put it in the bottle, shake it up. So just a thought. But the bigger issue is the enzymes in the second probiotic.
Well, we do have, I didn't put it in the slideshow. We do have a superfood pouch that is ready to go that I kind of consider like the multivitamin of liquid. It's not in pixie stick or powder form, but it's emulsified 36 functional foods, in 1.7 ounces. And it kind of covers the array of what I would consider your vitamin and minerals. Now,
What is that, Kristen? What's the name of that product?
It's called MOA.
Oh.
And, to me, you can market it as more than just a multivitamin because it's food. And you're getting mushrooms, and you're getting turmeric, and you're getting,
I
all
saw
the
ingredients, but I didn't see the vitamin and mineral breakdown.
Well, that's because it's not on it. Because it's not on the back. Because, when we have our vitamin and mineral bottles, those actually, the way that they're manufactured, those have actually been put in the physician's desk reference, and they are manufactured a little bit different. So we actually have, the breakdowns of them. So it's a different product. So it's going to be labeled different. But when I sell it as kind of like your liquid vitamin mineral. And when you look at the back and you see, well, it's got apple, it has elderberry, it's got turmeric, it's got shiitake, it's got reishi, it's got blueberry, like, you know, you're getting the vitamin hits. It's just not listed because it's just, you know, going to be obviously manufactured differently. And it's, you know, liquid and food. So it's just different, you know, pills are broken down there. And MOA is not going to be NSF. So it's a little bit different. Like our vitamins and minerals to get put through and have different stamps have to actually go through a different manufacturing process. This is a little bit different. So, and it all gets down to those finite details. But I've used it every day since probably 2015. It helps with inflammation, and you can market it a little bit different if you're thinking, I'm not going to sell this like that, but you're still getting all your things plus some other stuff. So that could be one way to do it.
Sure, sure. It sounds like just a real intense antioxidant.
Super antioxidant, super good for your immune system. And of course, it's got your mushrooms in it, which would help with, you know, your immunomodulating. And we're getting all those other things that we know mushrooms are wonderful for right now. Those are just super buzzwords in the health and wellness, like, you know,
Well,
community.
especially in the cancer.
Yes.
Huh.
There's the
Just
elite packets too that I was going to show. I mean, I'll show I'm gonna do my slideshow. I'm gonna show you some products, so you'll get at least a little more familiar with the line. There may be some in here you're like, I don't even want to pull that into my clinic because it might be too much right now. But Reese gave me a list of things he thought you would like, but
sure.
I didn't put MOA in there, but now you know that one might be one that you would be interested in. I covered kind of the basics, and I did add Renew. I don't know if you've heard about Renew yet.
Yeah. Connie talked to me about it, and I just got some in, but I haven't tried it.
Okay.
What
I
is
did.
we have so many kids that are having that have underactive pituitaries. What's the youngest age I can use them, the HCG with? I'm sorry, not
Um,
HCG, HG.
HGH.
Yeah.
See, with it being what the product is, I don't know if it depends on what their pituitary problem is. And so the reason this product specifically, I believe, works is because it's an aging factor. Now, if their pituitary is not working because somatostatin's too high and the inhibiting hormones up, then it could work because it's proof that this product actually helps block somatostatin, or you know, opens that channel. But the other thing that it helps is DPP4, and that channel get opened back up, and that's specifically typically kind of related to age. But there is proof showing that that enzyme is related to being on your phone too much. So
Interesting.
it is worth, I mean, it could totally be, if kids these days, I mean, you just never know, but it'll kind of you wonder why they're not growing. It's just amino, you could start on, my kid's 10. She's tried it, she could drink it, it wouldn't hurt her at all. I'll show you the ingredients. It's noni juice, amino acids, vitamins. I mean, it's nothing that would bother, nothing that would hurt them. So even if
Yeah.
they ran it for a couple of months, nothing changed with their height or their development. It would just give them, you know, nutrition. That's all it would do. So
Nice.
it wouldn't be a problem. So, and I put that one right at the end because it happens to be my favorite product. So.
Okay, why?
Well, I just think that HGH is linked to everything we do, cellularly, and for recovery and rejuvenation. And obviously, you know, I want my cells to stay young. I want my turnover to be good. I want to always have energy. I want to always have endurance. I want my skin to always stay tight.
Yeah.
I want to always be able to pop right out of bed and not feel old. And literally that's linked to that hormone.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why they say, just wait till you turn 40 and you'll know how this feels, because at 40, that is literally when that hormone starts declining at a very rapid rate.
Yeah.
And so if I can prevent that fall, or I can bring it up, then that's really what I'm interested in. So I started using the product 4 years ago. I didn't put my picture in it, but I looked older at 35 than I look now. And my skin looked different. My teeth looked
Wow.
different. And I show the pictures to people. I'm like, I haven't had cosmetic surgery. My skin's tighter. I haven't done anything, but I've used this every single night. I actually had forget what they're called. My dermatologist told me there was brown spots on my face, and I would cover them up with makeup every morning, and they felt like scabs. And I would pick on them and pick on them and pick on them. 9 months after being on the product, they just fell off in my hand one day.
What?
And think of the turnover of what it takes for a skin cell, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So and I was like, I was gonna have them lasered off, but I was gonna have to save a few grand to get them, like, to get the money saved up for that, because that was more
Yeah.
cosmetic. And I didn't have to. Now I don't have them anymore, and I have no scarring from it for where they fell off. I don't even
That's
have makeup. They're just my skin just got better. And I
Yeah.
attribute it to not just that product, but that product, and always feeding my body complete best cellular nutrition every day. So,
Yeah.
and I really do think that that's what this product line gives. So whether you offer it and I know the optimals sound high. They sounded high to a lot of my gym people until they started using them. And then I had to explain why they were just slightly different than what they were using before. And then they were like, okay, I get it. And they've never turned back. So, and I'm gonna show off, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go through some of them. There'll be some I'll spend a little more time on, and some I'll just, if there's one you're not super interested in, we'll breeze through. If there's one you want me to answer more questions on, I'll stop on, if that works.
Right.
All right. All right, let me share. I am a co-host, yes, okay. Okay. Okay, can y'all see my screen well?
Got it.
Okay.
Are you using the new feature on Zoom, or are you using the actual, are you using Ecamm to do that?
This is a new feature on Zoom.
Okay, that's what I
Is
thought.
my face like somewhere down in here?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yes, okay, I learned that neat. I know how I figured that out one day. Just for people on here, if this is your first time hearing about products, I think this is just a neat slide to talk about. On all of our products, we do annual quality tests, clinical studies, we have physician endorsements, and we have third-party approved verifications. Obviously, I think my favorite ones to note are the NSF, the USP, good manufacturing practices. That is going to be because you're getting a good quality sourced product, right? It's going to be manufactured in a clean lab, not someone's garage. The good manufacturing practices mean we have pharmaceutical grade raw products. So they're good quality ingredients that are going inside. And then, of course, the USP seals, if we have capsules, we know they're going to be dissolved. Like when they get to the stomach, your capsule will be dissolved well. And it's also not been hit with heat. So we don't like tablets. We don't like anything hard because one, it might not dissolve. Two, if it's hit with heat, guess what happens to the nutrition? Some of it goes away. So these are all capsules, right? But then we have other nice little seals on here too, like Cologne List, and that one's good for athletes, and you're not going to be red flagged for things like illegals when you go play sport. This is just the foundational product. This was one of the first ones I ever started using along with the drops. This is your standard vitamin and mineral. I always say it's not the sexiest product. It's just your vitamins and minerals, just supporting your daily activities, right? Just your functioning. But it is going to be like, what is your foundation to health? Now, if you have, you know, other issues going on, you know, you may add, like she's like Dr. D is adding other things on. People have issues coming in, but for, you know, an everyday person, they just might need some foundational health. And this is a really good product to be on. This is the ingredients. So this is the back of the labels. So when people bring their nutritional products to me, I always want to look at them or cross compare. This is, you know, we always go to the back and we say, well, let's look at them. Let's see what the sources are. Let's see exactly the ingredient list and how much percentage is in them, and, you know, where it's coming from and all the things. We have on the far left the recommended daily allowance in black. So that's just what is recommended for all of us to take each day. And you see vitamin C is pretty low. That is literally just to keep disease from not setting in, you know? They just want you to take 90 milligrams. You can see in our optimals, we have 650. We have what you would consider clinical doses. This is why we have made it into the physician's desk reference. We have not just enough to prevent disease. We have what you would call I would say to thrive, or to create a health benefit, a proven health benefit. This is why we made it into that book. Vitamin D, you can see the levels and how much we provide. Vitamin E, B2, B6, the list goes on. And then I just like to look at the actual sources of them. Vitamin A, we have beta carotene. Vitamin C, you see we don't use ascorbic acid because it's kind of hard on the stomach. We use calcium ascorbate. We use a few different types of vitamin C's, and then we put a little bit of other things in it, like the acerola cherry. And you're going to see acerola cherry come up in a lot of our products because it's super potent in antioxidants. And then you're going to go to the far right and see our minerals. You're going to see a lot of the chelated versions. Those are very bioavailable, which means they don't have to be broken down. They're ready to go once they get into the bloodstream. And I like the fact that we add a few other little things like grapeseed extract, resveratrol. We add a vegetable blend, a super plant blend. We add things from food that sometimes you don't really know what that food is offering other than a synergistic effect to help you absorb vitamins and minerals better. So I love that we go just kind of that extra little mile in putting some of those things in, even sea trace minerals, like we put that in. So to me, this is one of the best ones on the market. It is in capsules. They do break down easy, but I think that's why they are a little more expensive, because it covers so much and in such high amounts, because you can see the percentages right there of how much you're getting. Does anyone have any questions on this one? Okay. Our Magnical-D, do y'all do any magnesium, calcium, K2s or anything like that?
I can only speak from my practice, but we don't do a lot of magnesium and calcium blends. I used to, and then probably about 4 or 5 years ago, we started seeing people were coming in on a regular basis deficient of magnesium. And so with a magnesium deficiency and the parathyroid then becoming underactive, the issue becomes calcium metabolism. So without adequate magnesium, in addition to a calcium magnesium combination, we had clients who were, until we can get their parathyroids where they need to be, any calcium I was giving them, their bodies were, we were seeing kidney stones, bone spurs, cataract issues, because the body cannot, if they don't have enough additional magnesium, not just a companion magnesium to the calcium, but an additional, like a standalone magnesium, some kind of a combination. I like to work with the synergistic. I like the synergistic effect of more than one magnesium, but just for absorption. But once we can stabilize the magnesium, then people will then ask for a calcium magnesium combination because, their thoughts are they think it's going to protect them from, osteoporosis or osteopenia.
Right.
So, we had that whole conversation, but so I would be great to have a standalone magnesium. Now that I think Connie and I talked about the calcium magnesium that Partner Co has. And if I remember correctly, when we talked about the ingredients, I don't think the calcium was a living calcium. I think it was a dead calcium.
It is this one. It's a calcium citrate.
Yeah, yeah. Which is great for a lot of people. Well, it is great for many people, but most people are coming in so magnesium deficient that I have to get their magnesium levels up before they can actually utilize a calcium magnesium combination.
So you were not so they're not on any type of obviously they're not on any type of calcium because they weren't using any magnesium. Do they do vitamin D?
Yes, so the vitamin D
By
with Young
itself?
Living, I can updose. I can updose that vitamin D. Nature Sunshines, I cannot updose, because of the other ingredients in the combination. But, with Young Living, we do updose. Like I'll tell people to take 5 little tablets a day and they're glad to do it. And then they get the hormonal response when they do at least the 5,000 milligrams a day. But, having a regular, magnesium threonate would be amazing. That's the only magnesium that can cross the blood-brain barrier. And then, of course, or just a regular magnesium, some combination. When we started seeing a rise in all the 3G and 5G towers, everybody's iodine and magnesium just started tanking. So most people I put on an iodine of some sort, whatever their biological preferences are. And then magnesiums are very important. I sell a lot of magnesium. Yeah.
So this one may not be as of interest to you until, no, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't sound like this one would be one I think is quite as of interest. But this one is one that obviously is going to be the vitamin D3, K2, calcium, magnesium, obviously the one that's going to be our bone builder.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think Reese, you might just want to send her the video of the doctor who created it. It did take 18 months to create this product, and we can make medical claim on this one that it will help regrow bone, which you can't normally do that.
I
And
would love to see that. That'd be amazing.
in product world, that is a big no-no. You can face big FTC issues and FDA issues, but we actually can make medical claim that this product will regrow bone without getting in trouble. So
That's amazing.
we can get that to her just so she can watch the doctors who formulated it talk about it and the studies on it.
I would love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And do you do fish oils, omega-3s?
Okay, so yes and yes. Yes. So we see a lot of Coxsackie, so I do a lot of CoQ10s, and some Hawthorne. I, do a lot of, I'm seeing Coxsackie right now, just a rash of it. So we're doing a lot of heart nutrition. I do like the blend. Connie and I were going over the ingredients of the oil blend, Partner Co's oil blend. And so I have been recommending that for clients who need, healthier fats. So, which brings us back to the digestive issue. So a lot of people, especially if their gallbladder's either underactive or has been removed, they're going to need some type of a lipase to even digest the healthy fats, because without the gallbladder, they're not going to be able to break the omegas down. But I have been definitely recommending it's a blend. You have CoQ10, you have the different omegas in it. It's a great blend. So yes, we've been recommending it.
Okay. And just for the background of it, it is small fish, in case you didn't know.
You mean like krill?
It's actually sardines and anchovies.
Oh, okay.
And they do come from the Caribbean coast, so it's very clean water. And then we do not use a hexane solvent to pull the oil out, which I think is important
Nice.
for people to know. We use, we don't it's not our patent, but we obviously hire the company to do a low temperature drying enzyme fermentation purification process. So it pulls it out without leaving any hexane in it. So you don't obviously burp this oil, doesn't taste bad. And so it makes it very toxic and toxin free. So to me, it's a very clean form of fish oil too. So I always just think it goes the extra mile to know that you're
Susa?
getting-
Nice. I love that.
Hey,
All right.
Oops. Okay.
All right, we'll go to the next one.
I love that.
I am. Don't know why. There it goes. So here's Vináli. Grape seed, grape skin, acerola cherry. I'm sure you do lots of antioxidant stuff. This one is also in the physician's desk reference. It's made its way there because I think it's one of the best products we probably offer. I don't know if it gets overlooked, but it's just, again, not probably one of those, oh, you know, we start talking about human growth hormone and people really get excited, because it's exciting to hear about all the things it can do for your youth and anti-aging. But I really love this product. This is the one that probably made me really excited to try more, not because of me, but because my dad, he was an asthma since he was the age of 3. I've never known him not to have a chronic cough, have inhalers all over my house. And he started this product in 2013. He did 8 a day, and he has not used an inhaler since 2013.
Wow.
And obviously there's lots of research that will show grapeseed is really good for the lungs because, it's super anti-inflammatory. Grapeseed helps specifically with airways and the inflammation in that. But it's also anti-allergen, antihistamine. So when you're thinking of asthma and you're anything that can set those things off and their breathing is affected. So I knew that the products worked just because I watched him have such a huge health benefit. But grapeseed does more than that. It's good for the heart. Obviously, it's going to be good for the little blood vessels in the heart. It does penetrate all tissues. You talked about the blood-brain barrier. So we know grapeseed will cross over the blood-brain barrier too, which is really awesome because that's, helping degenerative disease in the brain, protecting it. Vitamin C is obviously in here too. So we have the acerola cherry in here. We have the alma fruit, one of the most potent antioxidants on the planet. Vitamin C, we know, is the precursor to make collagen. So, women like to use this product because it helps. We go back to the beauty all the time, but it helps their skin too, keeps it tight. But collagen is more than just skin tightening. It is your, tendons, it's your ligaments, it keeps you strong. I mean, it's your capillaries in your heart too. It's all of those things. And then, what I love about the whole formulation is when grapeseed and vitamin C is together, we always talk about the synergistic effect, but vitamin C makes grapeseed extract stronger. Even when grapeseed extract might get oxidized, vitamin C can come back and revamp it again and get it recharged. So it keeps it going, and it also makes it more soluble. So it gets better activated in the digestive tract, gets, sucked up, and it gets used. So to me, this is like the perfect blend of all of the things in the formula. So I don't know if you've seen this one.
No, I did not, but this sounds like a great formula to work with the omega blend that also has the CoQ10 to repair damage from statin medications.
Oh, yes.
because the application is the
Yes.
brain, the heart, the joints, so I had a gentleman who came in today, was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and they already put him on chemo for it, and it was damage to his joints and connective tissues from his statin medications. So we've got some work to do to repair, but this blend together with the Omega blend just looked perfect to accomplish that.
And of course, this one, you can super dose, so you can, I mean, you could literally, I know someone who's taken 16 of these a day
Nice.
because they got cut in the face, dog attack, and to try to get obviously more collagen repairing and skin repair. They were super dosing the mess out of this for a couple weeks, and then they tapered off. But you can't overdo it because obviously what your body's not going to take up, it's just going to excrete. So
Mhm.
you can't overdo this one. I take 4 a night every night, but I've been known to super. My cousin's actually, I think on the call, she cut her hand. I don't remember what she cut, either a knife cooking, and she texted me a picture, and she said Vináli, and I said yes, 10, and she goes, what? I said 10, and she was freaked out. I said, you just trust me, and then a week later she's like, I'm in shock. So it definitely helps the healing process. But
Nice,
hey, have you
nice.
seen this probiotic yet? So this is the probiotic
Yes. So I use a lot of Nature Sunshines. I use their acidophilus for, I'm just starting to use the probiotics. So the acidophilus I use when the gut is stripped and we need to seed new strains for about 30 to 60 days. Then I graduate to the bifidophilus because more is better is really not what we're looking for with probiotics, more than what's familiar to the status of the gut. And then they have a probiotic 11 that has a great affinity for the genital urinary area. So I love that one when somebody's having cyclical infections. But I was introduced to this, I guess, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Connie. And so we've been recommending a lot of this one. And so for right now, because I need a rotation, I'm going to continue to rotate this one. I'm going to use this one in rotation with the ones from Nature Sunshine.
Okay, so you're pretty familiar with this one, that it's a slow
Well,
release
um,
a capsule and all the things.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
anything you want to add for anybody else online, they may want to know. But it looks like an incredible formula. Connie and I were reading through, I think we were taking 10 products or 12 products a week and kind of working through them. So I love the combination in here. I love Bifidophilus. I've had great success again with Nature Sunshine's probiotic, acidophilus and bifidophilus. So it has a lot of those in here. I love the L-reuteri. Such a hardy strain and travels very, very well. I love the salivarius and the streptococcus. We're dealing with so many different infections that have been suppressed on a cellular level because of an abuse of antibiotics. So that streptococcus, thermophilus is very good for that. Anyway, yeah, I love this blend.
Okay. And for anyone who doesn't know, this one is in a slow release capsule. So it is going to get into your intestinal tract where all of this can be released and your stomach acid won't eat it up. So we love this capsule and this probiotic. I've used this one. I would like to hear maybe you and I can talk why you do more of the rotation, because I've used this one now for a long time and I've never rotated. So I would like to hear more insight on that on another date.
Sure, sure. It's not complicated. It's just that it's the candida. Candida is very smart. It's a smart fungus. And when someone has leaky gut, obviously it was caused by candida overgrowth as a result of poor digestion, putrefied fermented chyme. But candida will mutate its molecular structure so that it begins to survive whatever you're using to create die-off. So we can circle back. But if somebody would come to me and says, hey, I've been taking the same probiotic for a year, we don't see aggressive gut response. So then you can rotate it with another one for 2 or 3 months and then come right back to the one you were on. And then we do see, it doesn't take a lot or an aggressive rotation. It just takes a rotation.
And so like, and now I'm just asking questions myself, Reese, if that's okay.
Oh, I love it because we're all learning.
Yeah. So if I was using this one, would I try to pick one that had less of these? Or would you pick one that had less of a blend? Or
So
if I
how
was
would I
using this
determine?
one, how would I go pick a different one?
Yeah. So because of what I've worked with for so long, what's in my wheelhouse is, again, if somebody came in with a um, severe leaky gut and a stripped mucosal lining, I'm going to start with a fundamental single strain or 4 strain. So if I jump into the boat with your probiotics, I because of my experience, I know they're not going to utilize all these strains. They're not ready to. So where probiotics are concerned, more is better is not the application. It's what the gut can tolerate, what the gut can identify, and what can be seeded and multiplied. And so I think that's why now there is L. acidophilus in the probiotics, there is the bifidus, and there is the L. reuteri. Those are going to be, for me, those are the fundamental, let's get started rebuilding a severe leaky gut. So if I jumped into probiotics, from my experience, I would know their bodies are gonna recognize what it can utilize, but a lot of it's just gonna go right through them until the gut is repaired to a certain level that it can recognize those or allow them to colonize. So you can't have a stripped gut and all of a sudden you take 25 strains and they all establish. It just doesn't happen that way. I wish it did. So I typically will do acidophilus for a month or 2 months, depending. For some people, I can tell by the lining of the gut that I can start with a 4 strain, and then I have a 9 strain, and then an 11 strain, and then we can go from there. So I think I would not start with this one typically and then go to a lesser one. For this one, I probably would rotate with probiotic 11 and maybe do 6 months and 6 months. And it is a different combination. So
Okay.
that's my reasoning. And I just, so I probably wouldn't necessarily start off with this one unless a client comes in and I've been working with them and now they're ready to go to a more complicated formula. I mean, because this formula is brilliant and it's very comprehensive. Nature Sunshine used to have L. reuteri. Beth, I know they stopped at the chewable L. reuteri. Have they put L. reuteri in any of their other products? I don't think so. So no, I love probiotics and I've been recommending it to probably 8 out of 10 people who are coming in. So I love it. I just am rotating I have to rotate with every 4 to 6 months.
Okay, that's
Does that make
interesting.
sense?
Yes, no,
Yeah.
yeah, I learned something. Yeah, I just wanted to know more why the
Yeah,
rotation, that makes sense.
sure.
Thank you.
Now, which of your products would you consider an antifungal?
We do not have an antifungal. I wouldn't think we would have an
Okay.
Nah, noni is considered antifungal on some things, but I
Yeah.
don't think we really say it's antifungal.
Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. I just want to make sure you have 65 products. I'm not familiar with all of them yet, and I'm just so
Yeah,
eager to learn.
they say it has antifungal properties, but it's
It
not
does.
like tea tree
Hmm.
oil antifungal. Like,
Sure. Well,
yeah,
it's antifungal in the sense that it's healing for the gut. That Tahitian noni is amazing
yes,
for healing the gut, which reduces the overproduction of candida. So not antifungal as in caprylic acid or Podiarco,
right.
but I know what you're saying. It does minimize the production of candida. And Tahitian, there are other companies that have good nonis. Young Living, Nature Sunshine has a really great one, but Tahitian noni is the original.
Yes,
And
it is magic.
yeah,
It's great stuff.
it is great stuff. Sure. Yeah, yeah, it really is.
Have you seen the detox product?
I've been recommending the detox product. You're talking about
Okay.
the heavy metal detox?
Yes.
Okay, I am fired up about that one. Yes, yeah, we've been recommending that one. We've been rotating that one actually with another heavy metal detox called Ultrabiome. But I've been rotating because, anyway, just rotating binders for greater response. But I love it. I don't know that everybody online is familiar with it. That's worth talking about.
Okay, so we will. This one is our Restoriix. We kind of like to say this is our detox in a bottle. So we have zeolite in here. We have chlorella in here. So obviously these are going to be negatively charged ingredients that are going to go into the bloodstream, help pulling out heavy metals. So we have mercury, lead, cadmium buildups, and these are going to help pull those out. Specifically, we store a lot of these in our, and feel free to jump in if you want to add anything. We store some of these in our fat cells too, and sometimes our bodies have a hard time releasing them. This is going to go through and say, hey, we're going to roll through, we're going to pull out, and we're going to roll through, and then we're going to take it into our GI tract and we can expel. Activated charcoal obviously helps, is another way to help with that. Ginger root's good for the stomach. And instead of going to like your high-end detox resort, you can do this, you know, for a month or two out of the year. If you have some sort of degenerative disease, you can do it 3 to 4 months out of the year. But we call this our detox product. So it really helps with getting oxidative stress down too, getting your body back in an alkaline state. And do you want to add anything to this one? Because you've been recommending it now.
Yeah, I love this product for a lot of reasons. First of all, I love that there's zeolite in it. You know, zeolite has that claw response to toxins, so you can't reabsorb it. And I love it's hard to find a mold-free chlorella. So people begin feeling, take chlorella, have a lot of energy, they feel so much better, but then they'll circle back and start and feel worse than they did before because chlorella, most companies don't test adequately for mold in chlorella. So people end up having greater symptoms than they did before they started. But I love this clean chlorella for the protein that it offers, the balancing of the blood sugar, and then also just the raw nutritional energy. The chia seed, I don't know how to speak to the chia seed nutritionally, but I know it absorbs toxins. In that way, it's a binder. I'm excited about the copper piece here because so many people got on zinc in 2019 and 2020 and never got off of it. So because copper and zinc are antagonistic, everybody's coming in copper deficient. So I'm really excited about that piece. The activated charcoal is not enough to absorb the other nutrition and take, it's just enough to be part of the binding agent here. So I love the 100 milligrams. The ginger root powder, I don't know, I don't know it to have any binding properties other than stimulating. It's a heat generating spice, and so we use ginger for detoxing of the gut because it will increase HCl production. And then spirulina is not a crazy amount of spirulina, but that's also a plant-based protein and gives you energy as well. So people are taking this just recently recommending this are telling me that it's giving them a ton more energy. Now, to your point earlier, some people we're working with have 5, 10, 15 pounds. Some people have 100 pounds to lose. In the book of Leviticus in scripture, in the Old Testament, obviously, scripture is very clear that we're not to eat the fat of an animal because toxins are stored in the fat of the animal. So when people are going to lose any amount of weight, but especially 30, 40, 50 or more, this is a product they should be on because as those fat cells empty or dump, this is a great binder to protect them in that process.
And it can also help break plateaus. So if people are struggling with that, a little bit of a plateau when they're going on a journey, we have found in our journey on the drops, when they throw this product in, it can help because sometimes they've hit a toxic wall or a toxic layer, and this can kind of break through it, and then they start having results again. So,
Nice.
yeah, and I think that attributes to them
Can
just
you,
needing to get that bit of the detox out.
I love this product. Can you also speak? I was looking at some of the products and I thought, how great would it be? And you have a gym, so you probably do this all the time, but we call them the skinny drops, and then the thermogenic product that burns the fat, and then the sugar product. I mean, there's so many tools with this company to get at your ideal weight. Bring your hormones, blood sugar, thyroid, leptin, all the things into balance, and then burn that harder fat to get at. Use the sugar carb blocker. There's just so many products. So as a person who owns a gym, is there like a package of like all of those things together that you put together for your people to, really support their weight loss journey?
Well, I sell a lot of the drops and the Advantage, which is the thermogenic, the brown fat activator. I'll be honest, I don't sell a lot of the sugar stop. You would think I might. Um, I I like the product. I just don't, I'll be honest, I don't market it a lot because I don't want to tell people they can cheat.
Okay, so the fat burning product, I'm really excited about that. I'm waiting for that to come in.
Yes.
And you've had great success with that, the thermogenics one?
Oh my goodness. I cannot keep it on the shelves. And more, not just because that it helps with people's vanity, like it makes their waist smaller, because it does. It makes people feel better. It makes you focus. It gives you a little mood lift. And I think that's from the L-tyrosine in it. Like it's known to help, you know, some, things with neurotransmitters and helping you actually focus and be happier. And people like the way they feel when they use it, and they can get stuff done without it being a stimulant. So I could
Nice.
take it right now. I would not, because I might want to go clean my kitchen, not because I'm amped up on caffeine, but just because, I could focus on it.
That's
And
good.
so people notice that. And then of course it does make you warm, and, you know, people notice it's working, but I've used it since September, and I don't know if it's making my waist any smaller at this point, but I like the way it makes me, like, I can focus. Like I feel lifted. I'm in a better mood when I use it. So, it's one product that I have, like, and plus now that I know all the benefits of brown fat, I'm like, I need to find other ways to get more capsaicins in and keep that turned on, because it's obviously healthy to have brown fat working and on as I age, and keep it rejuvenated. So, and I think that'll even be more of a topic in like the next decade. People are going to find ways to not have to cold plunge. They're going to be doing more of those things. So
I have a question about the face mask that tightens the skin that you don't rinse off.
the
Um,
sincerity.
oh my gosh, Heather Leffler used to sell a product that they no longer make, and I put it on my skin, and I'm telling you, it was like magic. My skin would just tighten right before my eyes, and I would look 5 years younger. And then that company stopped making that product. I don't even know if that company's still in business, but it was an amazing product. So does it, the face mask that you put on that stays on, is it literally just one of those that like tighten your skin right before your eyes, or is it a gradual?
Yeah, you sleep in it, and then you have to take it off the next day.
Oh, you sleep in it.
Mm-hmm. You put it on, and then the next day you'll peel it off.
Oh,
It's breathable.
Yeah, it's a breathable mask. But you'll just peel it looks like a layer of skin you're peeling off, but my kid loves to peel it off for me. And it just comes right off. And then your face will be a little softer, but it is a gradual, and it helps with some scarring, um, and blemishes and just smoothness. I'm going to be honest, don't ask me about the ingredients of Sincerity. I don't know them well. I know I use the mask, but I don't know the skincare lines like I know the products. Other products. I know I
yeah,
use it, but that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Can you speak to us about the liver product?
Which one's that? Which one is that? The liver product?
Elite.
Oh, Elite. Yes, I'm getting to it.
There's the greens.
There's the greens. Here's the greens. This is the one that is going to have some of your digestive enzymes in it, by the way, but I don't think it's going to be the amount that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But have you seen the back of the label to know the breakdown of these?
I did when I went over it with
Okay.
Connie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not. I mean, they trinkle them in. Um, I think you're probably looking for something a little more concentrated.
You
I'm
mean for
guessing.
the liver?
No, for the enzymes. I'm gonna
Oh,
get,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
people aren't gonna take this with them when they're going out to eat at a restaurant, or they're not gonna,
yeah.
but yeah.
Um, but this one has got, your 2.5 pounds of vegetables in a serving. That's obviously everything that's in it and um what each does, but you don't need it. This is elite. So I guess you see what's everything that's in it. So this is going to be our super herbs, antioxidants, and some vitamins. So this is the one that you were talking about. This is like the mix it in a pouch. This is our super antioxidant. I mean, I call this our antioxidant and adaptogen pouch. Um,
My screen just went, you're talking about the greens for that I
no,
call for product?
now we're on Elite, the one you add to water.
Okay.
And it's the one that's going to have our super herbs, our antioxidants, and our vitamins in.
Now, the product for the liver, just for a quick second, just for whatever it's worth, everyone has everyone is is estrogen dominant with xenoestrogens. And so, I love to rotate indole 3 carbinol with another liver product. And so this, the one that you have, has some of those components in it that do address xenoestrogens on the hormone receptor. So it's a wonderful liver product when someone's home has not been chemical free or they're estrogen dominant.
Right.
Okay,
Would
sorry.
that one, the red clover leaf, be the ingredient you were looking for?
Well, the red clover leaf is a blood
That one
cleanse.
actually makes you a little more estrogen, doesn't it? Actually,
No, when I'm
it's
saying xenoestrogens, what I'm talking about is chemicals that the FDA allows. We used to have 5 or 10 that we had a list to make sure you avoid
right.
these. But now every every shampoo, conditioner, every cleanser, every hygiene product that's not intentionally chemical free is going to have a xenoestrogen component to it. If not all the chemicals in them are xenoestrogenic. But then we have them binding to all the hormone receptors. So when we can get in there and start cleaning up those hormone receptors, with the Brussels sprouts, the broccoli, all of those indole 3 carbinol sources, you're going to literally clean up those xenoestrogens and protect people from cancer.
So you are talking about the greens on this one. I'm not too far.
Connie, this is the liver product that I've been recommending.
Elite is the liver product you've been recommending.
Because Elite doesn't have broccoli in it.
Let me see where are the ingredients. Then it must be the Brussels sprouts. Where is it? All I
That
see
is,
is beautiful faces. I don't see the screen.
this one has your Brussels sprouts, the Giving Greens.
Oh, well, Connie, maybe that's it.
Elite will not have any cruciferous vegetables. It's going to have just antioxidants.
It's the cruciferous that I'm looking for the
Okay,
liver.
that's this one. That's this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
So this one will also have a few of those digestive enzymes and prebiotics and probiotics. So this is the one you're saying helps with the liver. You've been recommending for the liver. Elite, I was really confused. I was like, I've never heard Elite be for the liver. I was really digging in that ingredient list, like
What?
where? But I was like, she's real smart, so she might have found
Oh,
something that's working in here.
oh my goodness. Well, let me tell you, there's people on this Zoom that are a lot smarter than me. One of my mentors is on this Zoom. She's just being quiet and not speaking up. So Beth, do you have anything you want to add about this product? I don't know if she's still on the line. I hate to put her on the spot. Oh, she's not.
She's here.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, it has the chlorella in there too that you were a fan of in the Restoriix. So
Yeah. Perfect.
yes. This one is elite. And it's kind of it's just your super herbs, your antioxidants. It's got your adaptogens in it. To me, this is like the best way to obviously make your water crazy good for you. Put these in your, purse, your backpack. I mean, it's good. These are good. This product was actually created for hormone health for women, but there's things in here that actually help cope with stress, like your ashwagandha. There's obviously things that are good for your immune system. We're fighting mental fatigue in here, but we have super, super high antioxidants in here. And so there's no better way just to put one of these in your water than a Crystal Light packet and make your water good for you. And I put some of the scores on here for the ORAC, like the alma fruit and the acerola cherry that are in some of our products, so people could just see what they're getting and how we're fighting oxidative stress with a lot of our products. So this was just kind of a fun little slide. It's not super important. And if anybody had questions, I was going to open it up for it before I went to Renew, because this kind of covers the Nutrify line. Anybody?
I'm good.
Any interest in the shakes? I think they're pretty, straightforward.
Yes, are they protein shakes?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm using Love and Peas from Nature's Sunshine. I want to hear about these.
Okay, sure. So, this is our protein powder. It is soy-free, dairy-free. It's plant-based. It's from pea protein. And there are no artificials in here. So we have no artificial flavors, no artificial colors, no artificial preservatives, no artificial sweeteners. We have no maltodextrin in here, so no harsh fillers or binders. They are low glycemic. It's sweetened with just a little bit of stevia. We do have a full vitamin and mineral panel. It's 18 grams of plant protein. We have a full probiotic, prebiotic, and a little bit of digestive enzymes in here as well. And we call it natural because it doesn't have any flavor to it. That might sound crazy to some people, but we don't want to put any kind of artificial flavoring in it. So whatever you add to it, it will take the flavor of, but I like that. So if I mix it with strawberries, it tastes like a fresh strawberry. If I mix it with banana, it tastes like a banana. They are gluten-free as well. So there's no wheat in here. I believe they're challah free or challah. I'm trying to think if there's any other points on that. Do you have any questions about them? It is a very fine powder, I will say. So if you put it in a shaker, you mix it with almond milk or water, it's not clumpy at all. Even if it's just a hand shaker, I always put most of the time I do a blender and it blends very easy, but a hand shaker on the go and it's ready to go. It's not clumpy.
Nice.
And you can add the Beauty Boost and the Power Boost to them. So our Power Boost is chocolate and the Beauty Boost is mandarin orange. And they both taste phenomenal. We just revamped the Beauty Boost, and so it has a few extra antioxidants to it that is really good for the skin and a few electrolytes that have been added to it. The Power Boost is your branched chain amino acids and a few MCT oils. And so you're obviously getting things that are good for recovery, good for your muscles, growth. And then the Beauty Boost, you're getting things that are good for your hair, skin, and nails. So it's you could just add one or two, you could add both, you could add some with fruit. And these are also dairy-free, soy-free, a little bit of stevia, no artificial flavors. It's real chocolate, real mandarin orange, no preservatives. So you could obviously flavor your shake with one of those to make it taste like something, or you could put fruit in it.
Is there collagen in the Beauty Boost?
There is not.
Do you have a collagen product?
We have a noni collagen right now, but we will have a brand new collagen product in 2 months, maybe a month and a half.
Wow.
We're really excited about it. It's called Everglow, and it's like a brand new science to the industry, to the market. And we can also send you a video on that, I bet, from Barbara. Um, it's going to be top tier.
Mm. Good, good.
Do you have any questions on the protein?
I don't.
Okay.
Anything else, Sally, or anything?
I can tell you that I've been doing the protein powder and the power boost, and they're both amazing.
No, she answered all my questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Honey, what do you add to yours?
So usually strawberries to my, if I'm just doing protein, but I have done the beauty boost with strawberries and just the natural flavoring of the protein powder, and it does mix well. It tastes delicious, and it's very easy to swallow. You know, sometimes protein powders can be a little bit harder to swallow, so it's very easy to swallow.
Yeah.
For
I
me,
mix,
that
I
go
mix
ahead.
the Power Boost and the Giving Greens together, and you
Me too.
cannot taste the greens at all.
That is exactly what I do for lunch. I do I do the protein shake with the power boost, and then it just tastes like a chocolate shake. It's very, very good. But I put the Given Greens in there to get my greens. That's how I do my greens.
Well, and Reese suggested putting the power boost in your coffee. And so I've been doing that as well, especially after going to the gym in the mornings. I'm putting that in my coffee, and it's also delicious.
What does it make your coffee taste like?
Chocolate, hot chocolate.
Really? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to try it.
Well, so the reason behind it, the reason I started doing it is because we used so much coffee creamer, like flavored coffee creamers for so long. Like when we started taking the drops, getting off those coffee creamers, it really helped us be able to get off the coffee creamers.
Nice.
All right, now we're on to your favorite product.
Yes. And this is what I mix my greens with at night just to get it down. Just a regimen of it. So it makes the greens not taste bad, because this actually tastes really good too. It tastes like kiwi berry. But this is Renew. This is the way just to naturally boost your human growth hormone. And we just know some benefits that you can get from Renew because of HGH has been shown to do all of these things. We know make your bones stronger and your muscles, sense of well-being, improve sleep, have better energy, healthier skin, hair, and nails, improve libido, reduce body fat. It's obviously good for your heart and good for your brain. HGH hormone has been called the anti-aging hormone because of all of those things. So we know HGH is produced at the brain level. The hypothalamus sends the signal to the pituitary gland. HGH is made, and it either goes into your bloodstream to be started for cellular repair and rejuvenation, or the hormone is sent to your liver to be turned into insulin growth, or for the next signal to be turned to insulin growth factor 1. And that is to be used at the other places of your body, like muscle, bone, tissue growth. It's just important in general for a lot of body functions. So, but HGH does decline with age. It's obviously the highest when you're growing, which is why she was wondering if a child could use it if they were delayed, because it should be, making them get taller and bigger, but it does start to decline. Really about in around 30, 35, 40, it's really going to be starting to get cut down. So you can always look at yourself and see where you fall here. When I first found Renew, I was 35 or 36, and honestly didn't think I was going to try the product. I was probably, I saw this chart and I was like, hey, I'm still pretty golden here. I've got a lot of HGH surgeon. Why am I going to waste my money on another product? My arsenal's pretty high. But They told me it would help me sleep better. And I struggled with that. I didn't sleep well at night. So I was like, if it'll make me sleep better, I'll give it a go. Took it the first night. It was the first night. I slept all the way through the night. I thought it was a fluke. I thought I must have just been really tired or sick. Second night, same thing happened. I slept all the way through the night. Now I'm not gonna lie, I don't sleep all the way through the night. Sometimes I drink too much water with my Renew and I gotta get up. But I go right back to sleep. I don't look at the clock and I'm there 30 minutes looking at it again later. I just fall right back to sleep. So I get solid sleep now. So to me, that was worth staying on the product because I knew if I was sleeping, I would at least be recovering. I didn't know if I thought anything else about the product would work or if it was really true. But I know sleep makes you recover. And so I was going to stay on it just for that. Because what does cause HGH production to decline? One is poor sleep patterns, and I knew I had those. So I'll stay on the product just to sleep better. Obviously, aging, poor diet, so not getting enough good nutrition, exercise. People who don't exercise. So the two ways to get your HGH to go up naturally is to sleep and to exercise. But increased stress will also make it decline. Obviously, it's not on here, but the use of too much blue light also, and abnormal hormone stimulation. So let's talk about how you actually get your HGH to release and what causes it not to release. So we know the hypothalamus sends the signal to the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland says, oh, great, yeah, go ahead, make her some HGH. But the problem is some things happen as you start aging, and this signal does not get sent as well. And it's really two different channels that this goes with. One channel is going to be through somatostatin. Okay, so your hypothalamus is going to have a channel be, hold on just a second. Caroline Ann, turn the television off. I have a 10-year-old that wants to watch TV right next door. I'm so sorry. She literally saw me right here. So the hypothalamus, somatostatin is a natural inhibiting hormone, and it's gonna, you need a little bit, by the way, but you don't want too much because it's not gonna have that channel. So it's like this, the channel going here, and let's say I'm talking to y'all, but all of a sudden I'm not. Can you really understand me? No, right? But I need the channel to get opened back up so you can hear me, right? Okay, so that's one channel. So we know we have a blend that is going to help getting somatostatin blocked. And then there's another channel that is working against us, and it is called an enzyme called DPP4. It is an enzyme that our bodies are going to start naturally creating as we get older. And this is another channel that I always contribute this one to like an internet connection. Remember in the 90s, the early 2000s, we had dial-up internet. And sometimes you could get on and you'd cross your fingers and hope that you got connected and you would hear like the you got mail or all the stuff because it went in and out. But now we have all this like cable internet, right? That's what we want. We want cable internet going from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland. And this is essentially what happens when you use this product. So we have the signal booster blend that is going to help DPP4 give us cable internet from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland. And by the way, this signal booster blend has been proven to work, and it helps block DPP4 by 99.999%. That's pretty good that enzyme gets blocked that well. So at least that channel is working. And then the amino booster blend is the one that's going to help get the channel from somatostatin going from here so you can make HGH again. So with those two pathways being open back up, your hypothalamus can get the signal back to the pituitary gland to start making HGH rise again. But we have supporting blends. We have the restorative blend, which is going to have some GABA in it, which is going to help you get sleep, because we know when you sleep, in the first 2 hours of sleep, your HGH is going to get the highest. And then we also have some your vitamins, your supporting vitamin blends, and these specific vitamins were picked because they are crucial roles in helping HGH production. So they're just supporting your manufacturing specifically at the brain level. And that is why that one is my absolute favorite product. And I'm going to come back to y'all to see if you have any questions. I think I am. Can y'all see me now? Did I quit sharing screen?
No, you're still sharing.
See, this is where I need Sarah.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I can't. Usually I know, but I don't know this new thing.
I'm gonna try here.
Yeah, I'll try to share and then it'll kick you off maybe.
Okay, yeah, you try that.
Replace current share. Share. Stop.
Okay,
All right, there we go.
thank you.
All right, anybody got any questions?
No, but I got a full head of information.
Well,
Very good.
welcome to Kristen and Dr. D.
But I
Well,
really,
I got so many nuggets.
I have a question about children. You know, that sugar stop when you were talking about it, I have a client who's goes to his dad's every other weekend, and the dad stuffs sugar down them, and the boy has to take some kind of purple pill to stop vomiting and diarrhea.
Oh,
What can you give, what can the mother give him? Like, is there anything? Because that dad, I'm fixing to ask the course to stop the visits if he can't take care of his kids. But is there anything in here that kids can take? Y'all, you talked about adults, but can kids take some of this stuff to build up their immune system? And
what about the sugar block if they can't? Well, I mean, that's just coping with the behavior and not changing it, but would the sugar block be a good fit for this little one?
Yeah, I've sold the sugar stop to a lady for her child before, just specifically because he had trouble going to the restroom and it was such high fiber. And she said it helped him. So Karen, do you want to add to that? Because you're a pharmacist, so you might just want to, I would think the sugar stop would be completely fine.
Yes, I think so too. You just have to make sure that they're getting plenty of fluids so you don't get them stopped up.
okay. But we're having a meeting, in 2 weeks, Reese, in Lafayette?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull some of y'all aside and ask you about some of my kids that I work with.
And it tastes really good too.
Good, because kids won't do anything if it doesn't taste good. Thank you.
We got way too many smart people on here. I feel dumb.
You're silly. What a great call. I'm going to have to jump off, but it was a privilege to meet you, Kristen, and to hear more about the products. I'm so excited about just continuing to learn.
Yes, it was nice meeting you too, and it was a pleasure being on, Reese.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kristen. Thank you guys for jumping on and joining us. Like I said, we're a cross line. We just help each other when we can, and we absolutely, I mean, that's what's so great about this company. So Kristen is a great resource. She does product trainings probably once every couple of weeks on the IPA call. I'll make sure I let everybody know. We record all those same type of things. She goes through one product or whatnot. But as you can tell, Kristen is awesome with this. And as you can tell, Kristen, we got some awesome people as well.
Absolutely,
that
yes.
really know their stuff. And so that's why I like when they start asking me the questions, I'm like, hey, I'm more business. Let me get Kristen. So
I would have liked to have heard Todd answer the liver question.
I would have loved to hear that too. So we'll have to hit him with that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
I have a question for you.
Later. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Connie.
Hey, Kristen, do you know Rich Froning?
Yes, I don't know him personally, but I know who he is.
Yeah, so
Yes.
he lives in Cookeville.
Oh, that's right. There's a big mayhem up there.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So since you're CrossFit, I assumed you knew who Rich was. So
Yes, for
he's
sure.
a super guy. We
Yeah,
need to
that's
get him
awesome.
in his gym on Partner Co.
Oh, you do that. And I'm gonna come up there and just be there.
Yeah. If you don't know who Rich Froning is, he has won, gosh, what, 4 or
How
5?
many lots of CrossFit games?
Yes, like grand champion, fittest
Yeah.
in the world. Yeah. So he lives right here, and he's a super, super nice guy. So anyway, I thought I would just share that little nugget with you,
Yeah,
Kristen.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see y'all later.
Thank you all so
Okay.
much.
Bye.
Bye.